guys, here we are, MMA UK, sorry, Stoomboy, should I say, the Combat Companion. So, as always, all shows brought to you by Hard Life Fightwear. Hard Life Fightwear, often a great range of fight apparel. So that's gi, no gi, MMA, and so on. They do some fantastic custom gear as well. So anybody looking to look suave when they come out for their fight, then definitely hit up hardlifefightwear.co.uk. Use the discount code STOOM15 and you will get a bit of a discount. They're also doing the last show that we did, which was with the Hard Life guys. Just share that video, and then what they're going to do is they're going to pick a winner, and the winner will get some custom gear. So obviously just hit up, if you're chosen as a winner, hit up Hard Life, tell them what you want, and they'll make you some fantastic custom gear. So just head over to the Combat Companion page on Facebook and then just share that video. And I'd say they will pick a winner in due course. So we're going to be talking today then with obviously one of my teammates. I've not seen Ellie in a while because obviously I don't train as much. But yeah, it's always awesome to see her. I've been at many competitions where she's been at, and she's always fun to watch, really, really fun to watch. And one of these people as well, I mean, she goes out there and enjoys herself, which is absolutely brilliant. She goes out there, she's got wins, losses like all of us, but she definitely enjoys it. She keeps coming back, and she's definitely awesome to watch. And I've been able to see her progress from day one to where she's at now as well. So it's always brilliant seeing that confidence building and building and building as time goes on. So Ellen Montgomery, MNBJJ. So going to be talking about women's jiu-jitsu. Women's jiu-jitsu is obviously a big thing for Ellen. I mean, I said Ellen wants to bring more women into the sport, make it enjoyable, not just the jiu-jitsu part, but the social aspect as well. Do you know what I mean? So, and I've been fortunate. I went to the last open mat and I got to see all the women just rolling about. They were sitting chatting. Obviously, they got food in as well from Piatto. So we'll hear about some of the food as well. So it looked awesome. It looked really, really nice. So we'll definitely hear more about that as well. So Ellie, absolute pleasure. Thanks for taking the time to speak to me.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Tell us about you then. So obviously your journey yourself. I remember when you first started, and it's
Yep.
always the same. Everybody that first starts, they come in and they think, "What the fuck is this, man? What is this? What am I doing?" Do you know what I mean? But you seem to come in, you seem to enjoy it from day one, and just kept coming and kept coming.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I don't know if maybe day one. I think I remember starting it was the first beginners course after COVID ended, and it was just me and one other guy. So I remember coming into the old place, and walking up the stairs and being like, "Oh my god, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know." And even weeks after that, just coming in being like, "I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm cut out for this." But I think just having it's probably the one time where I've thought, no, no, just keep pushing through, and you'll get there. And obviously now I'm there.
Yeah, yeah. But it's been brilliant. I mean, I've seen you at a lot of different comps, whether it be comps like the tournament style, ADCC and stuff like that. And as I said, I always spoke to you beforehand, spoke to you after it. Do you know what I mean? And you always enjoy it though. You always seem to be like you enjoy it. And obviously your partner Danny as well. Obviously you two, the power couple of Scottish Jiu Jitsu, just kicking about in the competitions.
Yes, I mean I would say that as well, but yeah, I think he certainly has a better time because he's a lot more wins than me, that's for sure. But yeah, no, it is all fun. I do, sometimes losses are hard, and I think sometimes I can show a little bit of emotion. But yeah, it is always fun, and like you said, I always keep coming back anyway, so must
Yeah.
enjoy it somewhat.
Yes. Tell us about the gym now then. Actually, that's been, I think the last time I trained was about a year ago. So obviously I keep saying to Marcos, he keeps saying, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? So I will get back eventually. Do you know what I mean? I just other stuff going on. So, but tell us about the gym. I mean, the gym looks fantastic, the new gym. And do you know what I mean? There's a lot more people, a lot more women involved as well, which is brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, but I think the new gym's great. It looks fantastic in my opinion. Marcos has obviously put a lot of work and effort into it, as well as a lot of other people who have kind of stuck in to help out getting it the way it looks now, and it's brilliant. And like you said, a lot more women now, which is great. It's good for me. It's good for the younger girls as well, and it's good to kind of encourage more girls to kind of start coming through the door, who are maybe feeling a little bit intimidated or maybe a little bit scared or worried, to know that there is a good, strong female community in the gym.
Yeah, yeah. Because I remember you first starting, and I remember we talked about this when I saw you at the open mat, and I remember saying, look, when you first started, I mean, there was only you and maybe a couple of other women, and even at that point, you all weren't in the gym at the same time.
Yeah, that's really what this whole thing's about. Is just trying to get women together. It's hard, obviously, to kind of get all the women together at the one time. And that's kind of what this whole kind of open mat's been about. Is it's not about trying to take women out of a male dominated sport and exclude men. It's about trying to get all the girls, just even all the girls in the club together at one point or another. And like you said, it's all about socializing as well, getting to know each other, because there's girls who are in the club now who I've probably not even met, who I see very rarely. So it is about that as well.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say it was awesome. I'm going to bring up, obviously, I've got a couple of pictures coming up, but obviously the first picture we'll bring up is the actual open mat itself. So obviously, again, the open mat. What was the idea then behind the open mat for yourself? Because obviously, Ellie, you're the driving force behind this. Do you know what I mean? So what was your kind of thought process about you wanting to do it for our gym? I mean, not just for our gym, but for, I mean, Scottish Jiu-Jitsu as a whole.
Well, to be honest with you, I was quite influenced by a lot of other people to do it. I know it's been something that the girls have wanted. But to be honest, Marcos was a big influence in getting the whole thing started, as well as a couple other guys in the gym who had brought it up quite a lot. And it was probably just time. It was just time, like with the new gym, new stuff happening in the gym. It just felt like a good time to kind of start it and kind of get something going, really.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously, again, the when I was at the last one, as I said, it was brilliant to see, because obviously you had different levels. Do you know what I mean? The white belts right up to, I think the highest belt was Rachel, brown belt. So and different ages as well. I mean, kids, obviously the kids are in there, I think about 12, 13-year-old right up to I don't even know what age, but everybody seemed to be enjoying themselves. I know Faith turned up with her gi and everybody was wearing no gi, but I think a couple of people turned up with gis that day.
Yeah. I think it's a good mix of people. Like you said, we've got people like Rachel, and we've had Gemma there as well. So we're really kind of lucky to have girls like that there as well. Especially when there are younger girls, so it's good to kind of have that influence there. But younger girls are doing great, and they really kind of thrive in those situations. So yeah, it's been great so far.
Yeah, I loved it. Gemma turning up, because obviously Gemma, MMA star, pro MMA, undefeated, obviously multiple champion as an amateur, fighting on PFL, and obviously she turned up, and do you know what I mean? Everybody, do you know what I mean? She wanted to roll with everybody. And I remember Faith saying to me is, "Oh, I want to get a roll with Gemma," and I was like, "Well, just ask her." And she's like, "No, I'm too shy." So I'm like, "Gemma, come and have a roll with it." Yeah, no problem. So, but Gemma wanted to roll with everybody, so which was absolutely awesome.
Yeah, it was brilliant that she was really keen to come down, so I was dead pleased about that.
Yes, yes. Obviously, the gym as well. I'd say it's not all about everybody just rolling. I'd say we did say they were sitting off the mat, and there was obviously everybody was talking, and do you know what I mean? They were going over moves and stuff like that. You've seen obviously a couple of them drilling moves and so on. So it's not just about coming in and want to kill each other. It's everybody come in to do something different.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have like a couple of kind of newer girls who are coming in and who do just want to learn. They don't want to come in and get absolutely smashed, which is absolutely fine. And then there's girls who are doing like more comp style rounds. So it is, like I said, it's a good kind of healthy mix of everything. And then kind of sitting off the mat and kind of getting that social aspect of everything, just getting to know each other. Because there's girls there who have never met before, who have travelled from God knows where, who are coming down for this the last time. So that was really great as well.
Yeah.
Just getting to know faces. Um, yeah, it was great the last time.
Yeah, because a lot of the times, I mean, like especially other females across Scotland, the only time you really get to see each other is at competitions when you're
Yeah,
standing across the map from each other, or maybe speaking to each other at competitions. So this is a brilliant part about bringing the community, the female jiu-jitsu community all together.
yeah, absolutely.
We see the picture there. That was the last open mat. That was the one that was held at the beginning of November. So obviously some people had left at this point, and I think we had 15 people here in the picture. So and everybody happy, everybody smiling as well, which you don't really see at the end of open mats usually.
No, not usually, but yeah, everyone seemed pretty chuffed. But I think they had a bit of pizza and everything by that point as well.
Well, I was going to say that as well. Obviously, it's sponsored by Piatto, so obviously Piatto offering some fantastic. They brought in some fantastic stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I think me and my wife had left, obviously, and we went away to get something to come back, and then suddenly there was like pizza and there was pasta and all that kind of stuff had been delivered. So Piatto definitely looked after you guys.
Oh yeah, they definitely brought a lot more than expected. So I had to send pretty much everybody home with something at least. So yeah, a really great job.
Yeah, and then obviously we got the picture of the first one. And that was the first one. That was the very first one that you
Yeah,
did. Again, obviously everybody happy in the picture, which is brilliant. And again, we see the different ages. Do you know what I mean? We see the obviously the young kids at the front, all the way up to the more experienced people at the back.
yeah, I was really pleased with the kind of the different age groups. Obviously, like Billy and Elisa and Faith, the kind of younger girls. I feel like sometimes it might be a little bit more difficult for them to find sort of fair sparring partners. So that was good. That definitely a lot of kind of young girls came along to the last one as well. They did as so that
Yeah.
was
Yeah, no, absolutely brilliant. I mean, I'd say what you're doing is unbelievable. As I said, we see like there's female open mats. There's women who fight. I don't know if you follow them at all. So women who fight do kind of women's open mats all over England and so on. I know they were talking about coming to Scotland at one point, but it was finding I think it was just prior to COVID, but it was
mhm,
finding a female friendly gym.
got you.
Okay, now when I say female friendly, don't get me wrong, every gym's female friendly, but they talked about facilities and stuff like that. So I remember Marcos, and you'll remember this back in the day as well. Marcos, there was only one changing room. So what they had to do was that they had to adapt another room into a female changing room, but it was a very, very small room. You couldn't fit any more than 2 or 3 people in it at one time. But then obviously then built the purpose built one at the very big as you walk in, which made it obviously a lot easier. There was more room and so on. So there wasn't a lot of gyms that are female friendly when it comes to the facilities.
Mm,
So that was the thing. Women who fight didn't come out. There wasn't any place. I think the only place at the time was Ronin Grappling,
right.
but there was no other gyms. I think Ronin was maybe a little bit smaller than what they were wanting. They were wanting something a bit bigger. Whereas obviously you look at Marcus's now, it's really, really good size. There's great facilities for both male and female grapplers as well. So he's came on a long way, but there's a lot of learning for Marcos as times went on.
Yeah, I think so. Like you said, it's like from the beginning there was kind of limited space for women. Not that it ever excluded them, but we kind of just like uh used what we had and just got on with it. So having that eventually purpose built changing room was like a really big deal. Um and obviously really grateful. So to see the club now and where it's at, and just even when I was talking to Marcos today about there's probably more women in the club now than there ever has been, and maybe in across all the other clubs as well. So yeah, it's came a long way.
Yeah. Let me ask one thing. What's the one thing that puts that would put a female joining a jiu-jitsu gym? So, because obviously, I mean, you've spoke to to other females? I mean, you speak to other females on a regular basis. So when it comes to what we do in the gym, so what's the one thing that puts females off?
It's I think the one thing is probably the cross training between men and women is maybe what puts them off at first. Which again I think is why these women's open mats is a great thing. Like I said before, it's not about separating the men and the women. But I think having the option there is a good gateway to eventually transition into training with men. Obviously, I know that training with men's not scary, and all the other girls know that too. But I think it sometimes can maybe be intimidating, and I 100% get that. But at the end of the day, this is a male-dominated sport that we're in, so eventually it's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Even though it's male dominated, again, we said this before we came on air. I mean, one of the top grapplers coming out of the UK, not just the UK, but out of Europe and possibly the world, is Fionn Davies. I
Yeah.
mean, Fionn Davies was the first adult black belt to win the IBJJF Worlds. She was the first first grappler, black belt to win ADCC as well, coming from the UK. So, I mean, you look at the history books and the top grappler coming anywhere this side of the pond is Fionn Davies.
Yeah, I think Fionn Davies from the get go has been like a great inspiration for all women, especially what she has done for the female grappling community. So yeah, she's obviously a great asset to have. But I would definitely say, out of all the sports I've ever experienced, the women in this sport are just they're unreal. The community is so much tighter. There's so much trying to lift people up, and I feel like there's just more. Um, there's just more of them now,
Yeah,
which is good, obviously.
yeah, yeah. What would be who's one of your idols then? So obviously we talked about Fionn, but I mean everybody's got a jiu-jitsu idol. I look up to like my guy was Rodolfo Vieira. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to do similar things that he did, and some of the takedowns I did was very Rodolfo Vieira like, and working on my top game and stuff like that. So who's the person that you look up to? Who's one of your idols?
I mean, it's hard to not love anyone more than Fionn. So I'd say yeah, she's been a great inspiration for me personally, as well as people like Rosa, and even like Julia, as well, who I've met a couple of times, and she's great. But to be perfectly honest with you, it's so hard to pick one person, because everyone's so different and everyone has different personalities and different styles and have different goals. But even just the people in the club, um, who are at different level and different experience,
Yeah.
and their experiences even there are incredible to listen to and great idols to have.
Yeah, definitely. What's the one thing then we need to do to get more women involved in the sport? Now, this is obviously a question. I mean, I've asked this question many times before. I mean, I've done a few shows with like Lucy Wynn and obviously Julia Scardoni and like Rosa Watt, lots of different interviews. And that's always the one question that comes up is, what do we do to get more women in the sport? I mean, obviously things like female open mats is
Yeah.
fantastic. It gets females used to what it is we do. So then, I'd say the transition over to like a normal class might make it a bit easier.
Mhm.
But do we need things like women's classes? Do you know what I mean? Like a women's class, like taught by a woman, taught by a female. Do we need things like that? Is that important? Would that be something that would make like you as a beginner want to come to the class?
I would say that is probably important to a lot of women. Having these women only classes run by women, having just shared experiences with women. I do think training with men is also very beneficial, and I think it's definitely something that shouldn't be avoided. So but I do think for women coming into the sport, it may be much easier for them to come in if they're feeling a little bit less intimidated and by the kind of testosterone in the gym.
Yes.
Yeah, I think something like that would be good, and just being able to share it more on social media, on TV, everywhere that jiu-jitsu is, just having more women experiences there as well.
Because I always laugh when you see the women's only classes that are being taught by a man. Do you know what I mean? There's lots of them. There's lots of them. It's a women only class, but it's a male teacher. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that, of course.
Of course, and I think it must be hard to get female coaches as well, because there's probably much fewer of them. So I get that. I get that a lot. But I think for beginners, sometimes it might be better to have just kind of female only, just to help them transition into the next stages.
Yeah, yeah. So there we go, Marcos, or not just Marcos, but any of you gym owners out there. Do you know what I mean? A female only class, as I said, it would be beneficial, definitely. So it brings, as I said, it brings more women into the sport. I remember talking to Faith, and I said, look, when you're 14, you're going to do jiu-jitsu, and she's like, why? And I said, it was more to do with the self-defense part. Do you know what I mean? I said, if anything happened, I want to know if I'm not there or someone's not there with you, you're going to be able to defend yourself as good as possible. So it's more. I got her into it more as a self defense thing, which I feel is important. I mean, every not just women, but every man, woman, kid, or whatever needs to be able to defend himself in case the worst happened.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that is more important. It's something that's on women's minds a lot more recently. So yeah, it's definitely important. That's why I started initially. It was the kind of self-defense side of things, but eventually, just as Faith will know as well, your love for the sport eventually grows, and it does become more than that. But it's definitely a good incentive to start.
Yes, yes. What about you outside the gym, Ellie? What do you do? Obviously, you and Danny just, I mean, power couple, just do jiu-jitsu all the time. But for relaxing, what's the one thing you like to do to relax?
There's not really much relaxing going on. He's wanting to do jiu-jitsu in the front room all the time. So, yeah, so there's not a whole lot of relaxing going on. I work a lot right now. Just trying to get as much hours in as possible. Eventually, I'm going to be setting up my own online fitness coaching. So, that's something I've got in the works right now. So, not a lot of rest, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Because outside as well, I mean, not just jiu-jitsu, but you do other things like strength and conditioning and all that kind of stuff as well. So
that's right. So yeah, I've been working with Mark McQueen for quite a long time, so I've seen a lot of benefits from that. I've came a long way with my strength and conditioning with Mark. So appreciate everything that he's done for me as well.
yeah, yeah. Everybody's on this Mark McQueen program.
Yeah,
Everybody. I
get
mean,
on the Mark McQueen train, that's for sure.
but I mean, even speaking to like people down south and all that, and you look at them and you're like, oh my god, you look like you put on, do you know what I mean, a bit of build. I mean, what you been doing? Oh, I'm on the Mark McQueen program, and you're like, what? Like, and then people in America, people in Australia, so they're all picked up this Mark McQueen strength and conditioning program.
Pretty much can't be faulted, to be honest.
Oh, listen, absolutely brilliant. I mean, what you're doing, obviously, the open mats is absolutely awesome. Do you know what I mean? I was so happy when I seen it coming up. When's the next one? When's the next one then? So we had the picture up a second ago. So
Yeah, so next one's 1st of December. So Sunday, the 1st of December, starts at 1 o'clock until everyone's exhausted. So, and then food will come shortly after that. So yeah.
yeah, so there we go, guys. Make sure you head over. As I said, when I was over there the last time, I said I counted about 18 plus people, females on the mat, and as I said, and it wasn't all just about rope. I know you go into a normal open mat and everybody's in there to kill each other, which tends to be what happens whenever you go to an open mat. But whereas this one was a little bit more relaxed, there wasn't. It wasn't the same intensity as you would normally see at an open mat. Don't get me wrong, people were rolling. There was a lot of rolling going on, but as I said, they were drilling moves. There was moves getting drilled, sitting chatting and so on. I think we were trying to get Faith doing a biology test. So somebody was talking about they were going to help her do her biology homework and stuff like that. So it was awesome, and it was a real friendly atmosphere as well. So as I said, unlike some open mats that we've all been to, and it can be crazy at times. Whereas this one was a little bit more relaxed. Plus, the food after it was awesome. Do you know what I mean? The food after it was absolutely brilliant. So, big shout out to Piatto, because as I say, they definitely they delivered on the day. So it was absolutely brilliant. So 1st of December, 1 p.m. I said until they finish. Faith stopped me. Faith said it's only going to be on for 2 hours, and I'm like, no, it won't. It'll go till everybody's finished.
No, absolutely. Until everyone's finished. No, that's it.
Yes, yes. And as I said, it was awesome to see Gemma Old turning up. Rachel, obviously a brown belt. Rachel turned up as well and was kind of giving her kind of advice and stuff like that to the younger grapplers as well. So yeah, such a pleasure to see everything that was going on that day. So there we go, guys. Make sure you head over to MNBJJ, either on Instagram or on Facebook. But I don't think it's on Facebook. I had a look. It's not on Facebook, but it is on the Instagram page. So make sure you head over to that. Plus, it gets shared out anyway, leading up to the first. So you'll see, obviously, the post going about. So make sure you do not miss it. There's, I say, a lot of different levels. So, but Ellie, listen, absolute pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to speak to me.
No worries. Thanks for having me again.
Anybody you want to shout out to, Ellie? Any friends, family members, teammates, anything like that?
Oh, I suppose. Oh my God, there's probably a whole list. Obviously, Danny, who's helped me from the absolute beginning. Yeah, he's my absolute rock. And has pushed me harder than anyone. Marcos, obviously, who pushes me harder than anyone. Just all the team, really. Everyone's really great. Joining that club has absolutely turned my whole life upside down in a good way. So can't thank everyone enough, really.
Yeah, no, listen, absolute pleasure. Listen, I'll be back. I'll be back soon. So it'll definitely be good to come back and obviously see everybody. I do pop in from time to time. I call it making a guest appearance. So but it's always good coming in and seeing. I get to see your progress, even though I'm not in the gym. Do you know what I mean? I've got everybody on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and I see the progress. So I see everything that's going on. So do you know what I mean? It makes me proud to see, even though I'm not able to do it just now. Do you know what I mean? Just seeing you guys out there and living the dream, do you know what I mean, is absolutely awesome. So keep it up, Ellie. Keep it up. But listen, absolute pleasure. Thank you very much again. And yeah, listen, I'll see you on the 1st of December.
Perfect. See you then.
All right. Take care then. Bye-bye.
Bye.